Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to the Arsenal. And there's about a week or so left of the January transfer window. And it was very interesting yesterday, Arsene Wenger at his press conference ahead of the game, Arsenal versus Chelsea at the weekend. He was going to be asked about transfers and was asked about transfers by the journalists. And he sort of repeated a theme that he's come out with right throughout this window, right throughout the last window, in that he's only going to add players of exceptional quality. So we all know he's gone out, he's signed Mohamed El Nene. He's saying, you know, at the moment, you know, it's looking like we're okay with what we've got in El Nene. However, if there's a player of exceptional quality that we deem, you know, is a type of player that we need, we will go out there and we will make this deal happen. Now, very interestingly today, reading that Spanish publication has come out and said that the president, Florentino Perez, president of Real Madrid, has said that they are willing to sell Isco. They're willing to sell him to Arsenal. They're willing to sell him to anybody who's willing to come up with the money to buy him. I'm not sure how much that amount of money would be. I think we're talking somewhere between 30 to 40 million, obviously. Now, this guy is a guy of real quality. He's a guy that is not getting into that Real Madrid team on a regular basis, even though, I mean, he under Rafa Benitez, he was almost completely frozen out. He's getting more of a chance now, the fact that Zinedine Zidane is in charge at the club. But he obviously, to me, he'd love to play for Madrid. The Madrid fans apparently love him. But, you know, it seems like a deal that could happen. Real Madrid are going to look to probably bring in new Galacticos in the summer. In the summer, his price might go up. All of these clubs are going to know that the Premier League teams have got loads of money next season because of the new TV deal, which means that it just puts them on a different stratosphere when it comes to the amount of money that they're going to have coming in. Should Arsenal try and make a bold move for Isco now? We know that come the summer, Thomas Rosicky, Matthew Flamini, Mikel Arteta, all of them will be leaving the club. Their contracts are going to be up. I don't think Arsenal are going to renew any of those free contracts. Great servants of the club. There's going to be midfield positions up for grabs. Should Arsenal go out there and, you know, we're looking, you know, Arsene Wenger said exceptional players. Isco, for me, is an exceptional player. He's still very young. He could be a mega player. You know, he could be like the new Santi Cazorla at the club. For me, Arsenal, go out and find out what's going on with Isco if we could, because I think he would fit into what we do at Arsenal absolutely perfectly. I don't know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. Do you think that Arsenal should make an all-out bid for Isco now in January if, as reported by the Spanish media outlets, I think it's El Confidencial or one of those, that Florentino Perez has said that he's available? Should we go and get him now? Leave it in the comments below and let me know. Talking of midfielders, remember this guy? His name is Jack Wilshere. We haven't seen him yet this season. He's been injured, very unfortunately, yet again. A guy who, to me, he's like an Isco, but he's just had so many injuries throughout his Arsenal career. He's a bit like what I was saying the other day in I don't know if you saw the video that I did about Theo Walcott, in that he's a guy that he just can't get going. Towards the end of the last season, he was flying. He looked brilliant. Injured again. He just can't get, you know, you want a guy like this to just get a run of games so that we can see the best of him, and we're just not getting to see the best of him on a consistent basis. But we're reading today that he's on the verge of signing a new contract with Arsenal. He's agreed in principle a contract until 2021. Worth £110,000 a week. He's currently on about £90,000 a week, but this new deal will up it by £20,000 a week. Not bad if you can get it. Taking him up to about £110,000 a week, which they're estimating over the period of time is worth over £30 million, right? That's what Arsenal would have to pay him if he, you know, sees that contract right out until the end to 2021. Not bad if you can get it. Now, as I'm saying this, I can already hear a lot of fans out there saying, what? Why are we paying Jack Wilshere that money? The guy's always injured. There'll be some fans out there saying, sell him. Listen, for me, I love Jack Wilshere. We've got to keep persevering, I feel, with Jack Wilshere at the moment. He's still very young. He can overcome these injuries. And if we can get him playing on a regular basis, and for all the people that are saying, get rid of him, injured, blah, 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 I want you to remember one player, Robin van Persie. He used to be injured probably even more than Jack Wilshere. We didn't tie him down on a very long-term contract because of all the injuries. He got fit. We saw the full potential. He was banging in goals left, right, and centre. And then he looked at his contract. There was only like a year left on it. And when Arsenal went in and said, right, you're doing great now for the club. We've stood by you. Let's now sign a new contract. He said no. And he deliberately tried to run it down, put himself into a great position, and then he moved to Manchester United. We don't want a similar scenario happening with Jack Wilshere. I think Arsenal Football Club have learnt their lesson. So even though to some people they might be looking on this and saying, this is crazy, why are Arsenal going to give Jack Wilshere a new contract when he's got all these injury problems? It is the intelligent thing to do. This guy is a potential, if he's fit, potential England captain who'd be worth then a lot more than £110,000 a week. I think it's a very, very smart move by Arsenal. I think it's something where they've learnt from the Robin van Persie situation. And so if they do sign him to a new contract, I think that's good news for all Arsenal fans. Also very interesting today, I was reading about this guy here. Now, his name is Gianelli Imbula. I spoke about him earlier on in the transfer window when we were talking about defensive midfielders that would be perfect for Arsenal. This guy, I remember he's available in the summer from Marseille. I've seen him play many times. Brilliant. Well, he's up and coming still, but would be perfect for Arsenal. He is a defensive midfielder in the Francis Coquelin mould, in that that's what he does. He plays defensive midfield, no nonsense, tough tackling, full of energy, gets around the place, still young, only 23 years of age. Now, reading today, he's left from Marseille, he's gone to Porto. It hasn't been happening for him there. His agent put it out right at the start of the January transfer window that Porto be willing to sell him if the right bid come in. Reading today that Stoke City have made a £19 million bid for him. And that just shows you as well the amount of money that these clubs are going to have, that Stoke City can bid £19 million reportedly for a defensive midfielder. Now I'm reading this and I'm thinking, again, is this a player that Arsenal should be trying to get? Because, all right, I know we bought Mohamed El Nene. Really interesting yesterday that Arsene Wenger saying, I still haven't decided on what's going to be his best position, whether he's going to be a defensive midfielder sitting in front of that back four, or whether he's going to be a box-to-box player, which is more like what he played at Basel. He was more a box-to-box midfielder. That's interesting because that means he's not sure yet that he's an out-and-out defensive midfielder. Imbula is. And Imbula and Coquelin there, you know that you're secure. And as I said before, Arteta's going to be gone. Flamini's going to be gone. You know, there's going to be space freed up for these midfield positions. So should we go and get Imbula? £19 million. It sounds a lot for a defensive midfielder, but this guy's quality. And if Stoke City, you know, if trying to get him, I'm sure if Arsenal came in, you know where he's going to want to go. He's going to want to come to the Gunners. So really, really interesting one. I mean, if Stoke do get him, they'll be getting themselves a good player. Have they come a long way since the days of the sort of players that they used to have, like Rory Delap and that? It's amazing. Right, Inaki Williams, another guy that we spoke about. I think all that is completely done and dusted. Arsenal were interested in him. Liverpool were interested in him. Jurgen Klopp was desperate to get him. We all know that he's one of the fastest players in the world. He had a release clause at Atletico Bilbao for 15.2 million. They very intelligently have gone in, signed him on a new deal. That release clause has now been raised to 38.2 million, right? So that's like doubled, more than doubled. They signed him on a new deal till 2021. So I think we can safely say that he ain't going to be going to, well, anywhere in the January transfer window. Although they are saying that if you want him, pay the release clause. It's not worth that at the moment. He's raw talent. He's raw talent. He looks superb in some of the I mean, he scored a goal earlier on this season, absolutely brilliant. But that's a hell of a lot of money, and I don't think at this moment in time that Arsenal will be moving for Inaki Williams. So that one looks like it's dead in the water. Let's have a look at some real good news anyway. Great news on the injury front. Alexis Sanchez is back in training. Arsene Wenger saying yesterday that Alexis looks like he's going to be available for the weekend. Sounds how Arsene Wenger was talking that they'll probably play him off of the bench. They're probably not going to risk him right from the start. It's going to be a high-intensity game. But Alexis looks like he will play some part in that game against Chelsea, which is great, great news. We've had no options off of the bench recently. That's been one of the things. The squad, listen, when people say that our squad depth, I've said it all along, we've got brilliant squad depth. The fact that we've had these sort of players out and we still managed to maintain and stay at the top of the league has been absolutely outstanding. Guys like Joel Campbell and people like that who've come in have done brilliantly. Thomas Rosicky, also on the return, back in full training. He's actually going to play with the under-21s. I think it's either tonight or tomorrow. Under-21s are playing, so he's going to play in that team. Bit like what Mikel Arteta did the other day to get his full fitness up. So that's great to know. He's going to be back in. Sure, if he comes through that, he'll figure in the FA Cup tie against Burnley. The one that's come completely out of the blue, Francis Coquelin, back in training a whole month ahead of schedule. You can see him there training there with new boy Mohamed El Nene. Is that why he's come back so quick? He's seen El Nene coming to the club. He's like, hey, hold on a minute. No. I was over in Charlton. I had to work hard for this. I'm not relinquishing my position. I'm fit. No, I'm sure it's not just because of that. But it's fantastic news that Francis Coquelin is back in training. We get these type of players back for that running. We're going to be formidable, you know. So it's fantastic news, really, really fantastic news. Coquelin is back in full training, which means that you never know. Maybe he could feature in the FA Cup tie against Burnley, or he's just weeks away from getting back into the team, and that would be incredible news for Arsenal as a football club. And to top that all off, Danny Welbeck is going to be back in full training next week. What is going on? All the injured players returning all at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic. Get Welbeck back in there as well. And these guys are going to be fresh. They're going to be hungry. And that's what you need for that second half of the season. You need guys that are going to be able to come in there and be able to be fresh and really, really be there for that title push. So that's fantastic news to see that those guys are back and fit. And where does it leave the transfer situation at the moment? As Wenger's been saying, you know, he's been saying all along, I've got all these players coming back, so do I need to go and buy all these players? So you really got to start wondering to yourself, where do you buy players? As I said, he did say players of exceptional quality. So somebody like a Isco, I'd say be worth buying. Even Mbula, I think, as a defensive midfielder, he's still young. Maybe not the exceptional quality, but definitely somebody that would be great addition for Arsenal. So two there for Arsene Wenger to think about. Let's get into your comments, see what you guys have had to say. Just run through a couple quickly here. Toby and Dent says, don't buy anyone else, he said. He said, we didn't spend in the summer and we can use this to our advantage. Spend 2 seasons worth of transfers plus wage budget to buy Messi. Messi will be ours. That is a bit ambitious. But I hear what he's saying. We should, in the summer, effectively have a lot of money to spend. I mean, there'll be no excuses when the summer comes. for Arsenal not to go out there and buy some players of the real top quality. TH14 says, no, I don't think Arsenal ought to sign Bender this winter. Remember, I asked a question yesterday, should we go out there and get Lars Bender? Lars Bender being linked with us again. He's been linked with us forever. He says, now that we've got El Neni and Flamini is still with us, who can get the job done until Coquelin is back, which is going to be very, very soon. And he said, after Flamini moves on, we'd be able to see what Elneny can provide it for us in that position. Then maybe. Hopefully, Wenger will sign more passing midfielder this time, like Granit, whom I'd love to see at the club. Granit Xhaka, who have been linked to heavily throughout this transfer window. I noticed today he's been linked heavily now with Chelsea. Let's see this one. Vishnu Sharma says, please, Robbie, for the sake of the Almighty, stop reading comments posted by some of these fans on Aubameyang. He said he's tired of this. I don't know why people are going mad over him. Just one season he's performed doesn't mean he's world class. I mean, come on. He said one great season and you're ready to throw £53 million at him. He goes, it's crazy. Remember Jackson Martinez? You know how he's been doing in Spain after one season at Porto? I know he's been doing very, very badly. And interesting comments there. And it's interesting, actually, that there was an interview with Marco Reus in Germany yesterday, and he was talking about the fact that Dortmund need to try and hold on to all of their players if they're going to be ambitious to win stuff. So, you know, and he was talking about Aubameyang and all the links and stuff like that. It's not going to happen in January, Aubameyang, that's for sure. He's definitely not going nowhere. I think in the summer, it's all going to be, you know, light up again. Lots of people are going to be linking us with Aubameyang. I think the Benzema rumours will be hot again also in the summer. Because Arsenal are going to have effectively loads of money to spend because we've signed 2 players in the last 2 transfer windows, Petr and Elneny. So Arsenal effectively going to have lots of money to spend. There's going to be players that are big earners coming off of their books in Flamini, Arteta, etc. So it's going to be an interesting summer, that's for sure. Plus the Euros are on, so all these players are going to be in the shop window. I can see I'm going to have a very busy summer with Transfer Daily. Listen, thanks for watching today. Don't forget to check out all of our videos. We've got some great videos ahead of the clash against Chelsea. You can check out my video, my thank you to Chelsea video, real tongue-in-cheek there. And also we've done some excellent collaboration videos with the Chelsea YouTube channel, 100% Chelsea ahead of that game. I tell you, they're sounding nervous. It's funny. Last season, they're all cock-a-hoop. They're sounding so nervous. Make sure you check out those videos here on Arsenal Fan TV. Thanks for watching. If you ain't already subscribed to Arsenal Fan TV, what are you waiting for, bruv? Do that.